Welcome and thanks for watching. Today is February 9th, 2018. And if you follow Apple like I do, you know that today is Apple HomePod release day. I just got back from my local Apple store and picked up my HomePod pre-order. So today we're going to go ahead and unbox it, run through the setup, and run it through its paces. So thanks for joining me and let's get to it. So here we have the HomePod I just picked up at the Apple store. The Apple employee let me know that they made these bags especially for the HomePod so that they fit perfectly in there. So let's go ahead and take it out the bag. And there we have the Apple HomePod. And the plastic comes off and pretty much falls away. Apple does really great with their retail packaging. So there we have the HomePod. Let's go ahead and open it up. And there it is. Fascinated by the size. It's a lot smaller than I thought it would be. Let's go ahead and pick it up out of the base. And along comes the cord. And inside the box, we have the literature that Apple always likes to include. So we have designed by Apple in California. And kind of like the little envelope it's all in. HomePod. What looks like the quick start guide, an Apple sticker, quick start guide, warranty information, I'm sure. Quick start guide is for Apple. Apple stuff is pretty straightforward, so it's not that long at all. So let's take a look at the HomePod itself. There is a protective plastic on top, which I'm going to remove now. So here we go, guys. The Apple HomePod. And others have commented on this, the size of it, how small it is, and how heavy it actually is. It's actually pretty hefty. There's some good heft there. This is not a light speaker. Let's go ahead and lay it on its side for a minute so you can see the size of it. Let's compare it to some everyday items, like a can of soda. So that is the HomePod next to a can of soda. And how about a bottled soda? And for those of you who own the Siri R2, here's the size comparison next to a Siri R2. Actually pretty much the same height. And of course, let's put a iPhone 10 next to it and you can see the size comparisons with that. So we're going to go ahead and run through initial setup. And I have my iPhone here. And the process is similar to setting up your AirPods. So for those of you who have Apple AirPods, this should look very familiar for the most part. So when we open our iPhone, the HomePod setup screen comes up. And we're going to click setup. And it says, where is the HomePod located? And since I have HomeKit and the Home app set up, it shows me my address. And it asks which room I want to place it in. And for the purpose of this initial setup anyway, I'm going to go ahead and put it in the office because that's where we are. I'm going to hit continue. And now the next screen is personal requests. And it says allow anyone to use this HomePod to send and read messages, add reminders, create notes, and more with this iPhone when it's connected to the same Wi-Fi network. So it's asking me to enable personal requests, and this works, I believe, for the initial person setting up the HomePod, which would be me. And for now, I'm going to go ahead and click enable. And then it has the terms and conditions. And of course, we never read those anyway, so I'm just going to click agree. And then account and settings. So do I want to transfer my settings, my personal settings, my iCloud settings to this HomePod? I'm going to go ahead and hit transfer settings. And you can hear the HomePod playing some alert sounds as it's setting up speaker. So it's still going through setup. I must have a lot of settings. Whoa.
Hi, I'm Siri. Welcome to HomePod. You can't tell, but I'm waving. To get my attention, say, "Hey Siri, let's try it." Say, "Hey Siri, what can you do?"
Hey Siri, what can you do?
I can do lots of things, like turn on the lights, give you a news update, and tell you about the weather. Now you try. Say, "Hey Siri, play some music."
Hey Siri, play some music.
Okay, here's a personal radio station built just for you, starting with Al Green. Remember, anytime you have a question, just say, "Hey Siri."
I like that. So that's a good pick. First off, like that song, Al Green, classic, you can't beat that. Hey Siri, stop. So as soon as you're done with setup, there's a screen here that has some Siri commands. So for the home app, it says turn on the lights. For the news, you can ask Siri to tell me some news. Weather, what's the forecast, and music, play some music. Obviously, I'm not saying the key phrase. Let's try, hey Siri, turn off the office lights.
Got it.
And she turned off the office lights. You probably see it dim on the video. Hey Siri, turn on the office lights.
Got it.
So let's go ahead and take a look at some of HomePod's music functions. Hey Siri, play some 90s hip hop.
Got it. Now playing some 90s hip hop.
Warren G.
Regulators. We regulate any stealing of his property. We're damn good too.
Hey Siri,
Can't be
stop.
any geek off the street.
So the top of the HomePod also has some functions. You can single tap to play or pause.
Gotta be handy with the steal if you.
Double tap for next track. Triple tap for previous track. And if you hold down the top, you can invoke Siri. Hey Siri, what's the weather like today?
It's currently clear and 78 degrees. Temperatures are heading down from 80 degrees this afternoon to 50 tonight.
And that's if you don't want to use the key phrase, hey Siri. Because when you do use it, she will react. So HomePod is optimized for Apple devices and services. You will need an iOS device to set up HomePod. And if you want to take full advantage of having Siri commands for your music, you will need a Apple Music account or a iTunes Match account. So you can use other music services, though you won't be able to control those music services with Siri. You can't ask Siri to play a song from Spotify, for example. But you can, if you do have Spotify on your iOS device, you can launch the app and play a song from there. So here I have a free account of Spotify, so this is definitely not an optimized demo. But you can play music on your iOS device, and then if you pick devices available, you can choose this Spotify is a pain in the ass, by the way, just my opinion. At least is the free account. So I have a song playing, and I can pick. I find this Spotify UI. I know people like it. I find it a pain in the butt, and admittedly, I don't have a full account, so it might be different. But if you're playing a song, you can pick devices available down there, and you can pick more devices and choose. So this is the HomePod. It's in the office. I can choose that, and it'll go to the HomePod and play it. And from there, I can ask Siri the different commands. Hey Siri, lower the volume. Hey Siri, stop. So once you have the song playing from your iOS device, no matter what the source is, you can have Siri control it. Then you just can't ask Siri to start playing a song from a different service that's not under Apple. So as far as HomeKit, we can have Siri do any number of things. We can have her turn the lights on and off as I showed before. We could have her activate devices if they're plugged into smart plugs. We can have her activate scenes. The one thing we can't do, and this is for security purposes, is to say, "Hey Siri, unlock the front door."
Sorry, I can't unlock secure accessories here. Try asking me on your iOS device.
And that's because to unlock secure devices like your front door lock, or open the garage, Siri needs authentication. And that's so that someone can't yell through an open window, "Hey Siri, open the garage."
I wish I could, but I can't control security devices here.
And that's a precaution. And I understand why they do that. And actually, I'm glad that it's there and that it's in place, so that no one can run into your home just by yelling a command to your HomePod.
Although when it comes to securing your home, HomePod has no such limitation.
Hey Siri, lock the front door.
Your front door is locked.
So there you guys have it. That is the Apple HomePod. Do you plan on getting one? I myself, I'll probably pick up a second one for upstairs and possibly a third, fourth, or maybe even fifth one to fill this house with music. And also to have the convenience of being able to ask Siri and invoke a command from anywhere in the house. So if you plan on picking one up, leave me a note in the comments. Let me know what you think about the sound. Really, the sound really surprised me at how much it could fill a room. And I didn't expect that big sound coming out of a small speaker like this. So that's it. Please like this video, and you guys would be doing me a huge favor if you would subscribe. So please hit that subscribe button. And until next time, I'll see you then. Hey Siri, play some music.
Okay.